everyone, this is Corey with Sims Investment Management. This is another monthly market update, and definitely a lot to cover since the last time we spoke in February. There's been some heightened volatility, as many of you know. We've gotten some phone calls with some people worried about how it's affecting their account. And then we've also had plenty of phone calls of people with cash on the sidelines that are looking to take advantage of this pullback. I would encourage you, if you are sitting on a significant amount of cash, with inflation running at 8% and about a 10 to 12% decline in the S&P 500 right now, it's a very opportune time to put some of that cash to work. So let's just jump right in. The Russian-Ukraine crisis. I'm going to talk about several things today. I'm not a political expert. In fact, I hate politics. I hate political posturing. But unfortunately, it is weighing on what we do right now. I think if you look at this very sad state of affairs that's halfway across the world right now, as much as some of the narrative is around a democracy plea, it really has nothing to do with that. It's energy focused. There's two aging pipelines that run through Ukraine, and unfortunately some of the policies that have been put in place have empowered other countries we don't typically want to do business with, because of energy. And if you look at many wars throughout history, it's been driven by energy concerns. So my hope is that some good will actually come out of this, by people taking a stand, country taking a stand, businesses taking a stand, that they're not going to do business with dictators and economies that or regimes that treat their citizens the way that they do. We have plenty of available resources in other parts of the world, so hopefully this will be a continued shift to green and energy efficient and environmentally conscious solutions, but then also a way for us to use oil and energy in efficient ways in other areas of the world that we can access it. So again, I do hope that some good's going to come out of this, but if we shift to what it's doing to the market, if you will, I think it's very easy to forget that the market, the S&P 500, it is driven by company earnings. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, is the conflict in Russia and Ukraine, is it going to affect how many iPhones that Apple sells this year? Or how many ads Google is listing, or Facebook? Is it going to affect some of the other more domiciled, like Coca-Cola? How much less Coke are they going to sell this year, right? So it's easy to get caught up in the headlines, but we need to go back to the earnings concerns. There will be input costs and problems with companies like Procter & Gamble that rely on oil and petroleum and plastics and things like that to make their products, but I don't think it's justified the type of correction that we've had. I think it's going to be short-lived, in my humble opinion. I will say that I don't like making predictions, and I said that in my annual newsletter that came out in January. But we did say that, barring some variable that is outside of the market controls, we felt that companies were going to make strong improvements in their earnings this year, and I just don't see that changing still. But it's early. All right, pivoting gears a little bit, there's a couple other resources that I'm going to include in the newsletter. One is from Visual Capitalist, which is a really, really great website and newsletter. They talk about 5 different famous investing quotes and dissecting those, and I think it's a really good piece that came out just about a week ago. I also am going to include the Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholder letter, which I absolutely love. Warren Buffett always has great tidbits of information that are very digestible, even to people that aren't big into the market. I want to get it on your radar that in June, we're going to do a senior care seminar. So many of our clients are facing decisions with maybe their parents on where they are potentially going to go for end-of-life care or for some type of nursing care type needs. And so we've got a really good contact that we're going to do a joint seminar with in June on that topic. 2 other quick things. What's interesting about the market, if you look at consumer sentiment and where inflation is, It's a big concern. Energy prices are a big concern. Consumer sentiment right now is lower than it was 2 years ago in the height of COVID. And that again is driving some nervousness in the market, right? They're worried about rising interest rates. It's going to be a very, very small increase from 0 to 0.25. Inflation is high, but interest rates still remain low. So I'm a firm believer that this is going to shake itself out in the next 12 to 18 months, and that you shouldn't be making changes to your plans based on current market events. It's just not a successful way to grow wealth over time. The last thing that I want to touch on is, many of you know, but our longtime business partner and very good friend Jerry Taylor is going through a hard time right now with his battle with cancer. And I just ask that all of you keep Jerry and his family in your thoughts and prayers, that Jerry can find peace. And Jerry will be very deeply missed around the office. He's been a wonderful business partner of mine for almost 10 years, and we have grown professionally, spiritually, and personally over that time frame. And Sims Investment Management would not be where it is today without Jerry, and I know that he has touched the lives of many of his clients, an insurmountable and really immeasurable impact that he's had in helping families plan and protect their future. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Other than that, I will see you next month on another monthly market update. Thanks.